Nebuchadnezzar, he spoke to them. Is it true? Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, that you did not serve my gods or worship the golden image that I have set up? Now, if you will, imagine he'd give them a second chance, probably because he liked them and they were dependable. Now, if you were ready at the time, you hear the sound of the flutes and the horns and all kinds of music and symphony. With all kinds of music, you fall down and worship the image which I have made. That'll be good. But if you don't, I mean, here he is. Nebuchadnezzar's got all his people from all the different provinces there watching this. And he's got to save face, right? So he says, guys, I'll give you a second chance. If you bow down and worship, if you do not, you go to the midst of a burning fiery furnace. Question. Who is the God who will deliver you from my hands? So that's a direct challenge. The response is really great. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we have no need to answer you in this matter. Imagine his blood pressure went up. In front of all the people that have come, he's being challenged. So they said, if that is the cause, our God whom we serve is able to deliver us from that burning fiery furnace. And here's the response. He will deliver us from your hand, O king. Confidence. How did these boys get such confidence? They probably, it's been 20-some years since the Tower of Babel, the image that they had to dream in. So it's been, say, 20, 25 years. Many things have happened. I'm sure Shadrach and Meshach and Abednego were challenged in the positions where they were. And they proved faithful. Where did that faithfulness come from? Well, Daniel, if you remember earlier in the narrative of the Daniel and the Nebuchadnezzar, do you remember? They purposed in their heart. Do you think that purpose in their heart was really strong? Oh, yeah, it had to be. Because they were facing death. Anyway, what happened? Nebuchadnezzar was full of fury and the expression on his face changed. Okay, he said, he spoke and gave out a command. Heat the furnace 7 times hotter. Well, he had to do something. He had all his commanders around here watching. What is this guy going to do? The Chaldeans, they were probably, good, we're going to get rid of those guys. Let's see what happens. So he commanded mighty men from his army to come and bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. So they came, They bound them. They were in their clothes, in their turbans. They bound them. And they took them over and threw them in the furnace. So Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego fell down in the middle of the furnace. And the men who threw them in were killed from the flames. Or, question, was it because God's presence was there? Anyway, we're glad that he was there. Anyway, they fell down in the midst of the burning fire furnace. King Nebuchadnezzar was astonished. And he rose in haste, and what did he say to his counselors? Did we send 3 guys in there? Why, yes, okay, true. He says, look, I see 4 men walking around in the midst of that fire. And the 4th one looks like the Son of God. So my question is, how did Nebuchadnezzar come up with the idea they look like the Son of God? Must be he had a little memory coming back. Anyway. So Nebuchadnezzar gets up, walks up to the mouth of the fiery furnace, and he says, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, come out. But he just didn't say that. He said, servants of the Most High God, come out. And so they came out. Remember, all the leaders of the whole nation standing there watching this whole thing. So the satraps and the administrators, the governors and the king's counselors, they came up to see these men, whose body the fire had no power over. The hair of their head wasn't even singed, and their garments were not affected. How could this be? The smell of fire was not on them. So Nebuchadnezzar spoke, saying, Blessed be the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who sent his angels and delivered his servants who trusted in him. And they have frustrated the king's word, and they yielded their bodies that they should not serve nor worship any god except their own. I think we're going to face this ourselves soon. Is our faith in our Heavenly Father going to be ready for that day? So what did Nebuchadnezzar do? He made another decree. Any people, nations, language who speaks anything against the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego will be cut into pieces, and their houses shall be made an ash heap. Then the kings, and the king promoted Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the province. Now, where did the Chaldeans go? I imagine they're really, really upset. But God was with them. And I believe the same thing is going to happen. Each one of us are going to be put in a position of really tight position. Will we stand or will we not? And I pray that the presence of God will be with each one of you. I think of some of us who are still working, probably go through things like this today. And some of our children are probably going to face this. But every man, woman, and child will have a choice. Thanks to the wonderful love of Jesus that we have a choice.
Amen. Amen.